We are what we are by faith. Man is what he is by faith.
Following the sudden passing of T.B. Joshua, the founder of Synagogue Church of All Nations, his wife of 31 years, Evangelist Evelyn Joshua, will be stepping forward as his successor. This comes after the burial date for the famous prophet, who is known as one of Africa's richest pastors of all time, with a net worth estimated at $10 million, was announced to the world. During his lifetime, Prophet T.B. Joshua's mantra was to live every day as if it was its last. Sadly, he had no written plans of who was to take his place as leader of the Emmanuel family after his death. Although in the church's best interest, the decision of his wife taking over has been met with several controversies. There was reference to a handful of groomed wise men the late televangelist raised to be full of power, grace, and perform mighty miracles. It is believed that the elders should have chosen one of them as T.B. Joshua's successor. Is Evelyn Joshua the best person to head the church, or is a new position as the head of Synagogue Church temporary? Will one of the wise men groomed and raised by T.B. Joshua eventually take over the leadership of the church? Hello guys, it's Tico here for African Glitz. Like the common saying, behind every successful man there is a woman, the late prophet T.B. Joshua had a woman behind him, engineering his successes, achievements, and spiritual exploits. This is no other than his wife, Evelyn Joshua. The 52-year-old evangelist, born and raised in Okala, Okpano in Oshimili local government area of Delta State, became the pillar of T.B. Joshua's life and ministry after they tied the nuptial knot in 1990. Going back to how the couple met, Evelyn, who lost her twin brother at a very young age, according to briefly.com, later moved to Lagos for a better life. In 1990, she traveled to Egbe to visit her sister, and during her stay, she met the then vibrant pastor T.B. Joshua, who was 5 years older than her. She had gone to meet him for counseling and spiritual guidance, and their first meeting, which lasted only 45 minutes, sparked their journey to marriage. Recalling the encounter, she once said, "We were just looking at each other until he, at the time, wrote my name on the piece of paper. So we started talking. He told me a lot of things about myself, both things that I knew and those that I never knew. I was shocked. He told me about my family, about my past, my present, and my future. Altogether, we spent about 45 minutes. She said T.B. Joshua added, "I don't have a concubine, and I don't want to have a concubine, but can you marry me?" How sweet! Isn't that love at first sight? According to the late man of God, when he spoke about his wife during an interview, he said meeting her was arranged by power, hence why he proposed to her on the same day he met her the first time. He admitted Evelyn was initially apprehensive about the unforeseen marriage proposal. Fast forward to life after marriage, Evelyn became an instrument in propelling the growth of her husband's ministry. She also became an evangelist and prophetess who supported T.B. Joshua in everything he did, despite the challenges they faced in their early marital life. As the second in command in the ministry, most members described her as a visionary and workaholic. The religious couple kept most of their family life private while raising 3 daughters. Once during an interview a few years ago, T.B. Joshua revealed that his wife is not like him and has left everything to God. He said, "I have a wife and I have children. I would have loved my wife to be like me, but I cannot make her what I am. It is God. I can't anoint her. God is the one that anoints people." But it looks like Evelyn Joshua has finally accepted the baton of responsibilities to take SCOAN to the next level. Taking a proactive measure to ensure the church continues to run smoothly, the elders of the church, after a meeting, decided that Prophet T.B. Joshua's widow is the best person to lead the church spiritually. Evelyn, who has been a senior pastor under the Synagogue Church of All Nations, took charge of the Emmanuel Family affairs whenever T.B. Joshua wasn't around. She also counseled and attended to those who were unable to meet the prophet in person.
Amen! Amen! Viewers followers all over the world.
After her husband passed on to the great beyond on June 5, 2021, without any plans for a succession, it is only natural that the church elders appoint Pastor Evelyn as the new leader to carry on his ministry mantle and legacy. According to Emmanuel Family church elders, much spiritual and financial efforts went into building the Synagogue church, and someone had to take charge of the church affairs immediately and give spiritual direction on the mode of service continually to prevent members from derailing. However, whether a new position is temporal or permanent is unknown, as the elders made no mention of it. The decision interestingly got many people talking, as they expected that the church's new leader would be chosen from the many wise men the late T.B Joshua groomed in his lifetime. In the Christian ministry, great ministers of God raise other ministers to be powerful or even more powerful than themselves. And this is exactly what T.B Joshua did during his lifetime. He raised over 5 highly anointed and divinely gifted ministers who he called the wise men. Although from various countries of the world, these men are full of grace, power, and perform mighty miracles like T.B Joshua. It is believed he commissioned them to be next in line for his position when he passes on. Hence, the reason why many have begun questioning the appointment of his wife as the new leader of his church, pointing out the fact that the church has nothing to do with family. They assert that one of the wise men should have been chosen to take over the leadership position, as they are spiritually gifted and commissioned for the role. T.B Joshua burial arrangement. Notwithstanding the controversy following Evelyn Joshua's appointment as the new leader of the Synagogue Church, she has reportedly been doing a great job handling the church affairs. She has finally confirmed the burial arrangement of her late husband. A week-long service in honor of Prophet T.B Joshua will take place from July 5th, after which it will be laid to rest on July 11 at his church premises in Ikotun, Lagos. The late T.B Joshua burial arrangement had resulted in a huge tussle between his wife, relatives, and the traditional leader of his hometown. While his wife insisted that he be buried at his church in Lagos, his relative and the traditional ruler of his hometown of Arigidi Akoko in Ondo State demanded that he be buried in his hometown.
And the children should not allow them to bury him in Lagos. We are not going to take it lightly. He's from this town and we want him back here.
However, the elders of the church intervened, explaining that his wife's insistence on his burial in his church has a spiritual basis. It looks like the beef has been quenched, and all parties have agreed to bury him in his church premises in Lagos. Do you think Evangelist Evelyn Joshua, wife of the late Prophet T.B Joshua, is the best person to take over his ministry? Or do you agree one of the wise men T.B Joshua groomed during his lifetime is a better fit for that position? Lastly, do you think being T.B Joshua's wife influences her position more than anything else? Share your opinion in the comment section down below. If you found this video informative, please comment, like, and share. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more well-researched African stories and news we know you would like. Click on the bell sign to be notified every time we upload a new video so that you don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and see you on our next one.